How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and before I begin today's video, I just want to say that Trump derangement syndrome is real. It is a serious problem. People are being hurt all over the country, so please check on your family, check on your friends to make sure they're okay. If they were a big-time Hillary supporter, Bernie supporter, or whatever, make sure they're not up to any kind of crazy and harebrained schemes or engaging in any kind of self-destructive behavior, challenges, or whatnot. This particular instance we're going to talk about in this video is a clear case of what happens when Trump derangement syndrome goes unchecked. You have a professor emeritus, which means he's retired, an old man who shot himself in the arm at the College of Southern Nevada to protest against Trump, or at least that's what we have read. That's what the witness statements have said. Now, before I get too deep into it, let's check out this video from the local news in the Vegas area, and you'll be able to see him give a so-called interview, which is not really an interview, behind the jail, because of course you can't bring a pistol on campus. You know, that's illegal, but that's a different story we'll talk about in a minute. You'll see his demeanor and how he looks and how he's speaking. After we get done with that, we'll talk about that video, what he said there or what he didn't say there, and then I'll give you my 2 cents and wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
The shooting happened 2 weeks ago inside a bathroom on the campus. The professor is now in the county jail, and that's where we find Fox 5 Abby Tedros outside the jailhouse with an exclusive interview for us. Abby?
That's right. Mark Bird tonight is at the Clark County Detention Center. He agreed to a jailhouse interview, but when I started asking him questions about the morning of August 28th, he wouldn't answer. As soon as I sat down to interview Mark Bird,
okay, I'm probably not going to say too much because I suspect that's what an attorney would want me to say.
He made it clear he wasn't going to do much talking.
It's probably in my best interest not to say too much more.
He stayed tight-lipped on the phone, but his arrest report shows he had a lot to say on the morning of August 28th. Police say Bird shot himself inside a bathroom on campus. A CSN employee told police after the shooting he walked out of the bathroom with blood coming from his arm and said the words "against Trump." Then a student said he started saying he's protesting Trump and that he shot himself because of that.
But they said that it was a protest in the arrest report. You were protesting Donald Trump. Is that true?
I'm not sure my attorney would want me to say yes or no to that.
What's your platform?
I don't want to go into any details. It's too complex for a 30 or 60-minute news segment anyway.
A CSN spokesperson told me Bird started working at the college back in 1993. He's an emeritus sociology professor. When I asked him what's next,
I'm not sure what the plan is. You might mention this is my first arrest ever.
And according to that arrest report, officers found $100 taped to the bathroom mirror with a message that read, "For the janitors." We tried to ask Bird about that as well, but he wouldn't answer our questions, as you saw in that interview. We also talked to officials at the school. They tell us that he is still currently employed with the school, and again, he is an emeritus professor. We're also told that he wasn't scheduled to have any classes this semester.
All right, so you saw that video. I mean, this situation, I don't mean to laugh because I don't want nobody to get hurt. Don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to say he should have aimed higher or something like that, but this is really crazy. First of all, this was purely done for attention. This man shot himself with a .22 pistol. That's like a step above a BB gun, you know. Now, don't get it twisted. You can't get hurt with a .22 pistol. You can't actually get killed with that, but you're talking about a very low caliber weapon. He shot himself just to get some attention, and he shot himself in the arm, left a note on the window talking about this is for the janitors with $100 to clean up the blood. He was able to walk out of the bathroom. I heard that he actually passed out. Maybe that did happen. Maybe he walked out and then, I don't know, didn't stop the bleeding and passed out from blood loss, but he's okay. Obviously, he was in jail. He didn't die. But obviously, you can't bring a pistol on campus, so he has gun charges now. He's an old man talking about this is my first arrest. My question to him would be, what was the purpose? How are you protesting Trump doing this? Because if it's about gun laws and stuff like that, if you think that Trump is somebody that is a pro-gunner and you don't like guns being on campus, then why would you engage in a school shooting? Because this is what this was. He brings a gun on campus. Now, I suppose you don't live there. I don't think you're a homeless professor emeritus. I mean, maybe you're getting jobs, maybe you're not, but you're retired. You've been there since 93. This is 25 years now. So I suppose you're not a poor man. You don't live at the school. So you went there just to get the attention. There was no need to do it. I mean, I'm not really sure what you were trying to do other than get people to look at you. He didn't want to do an interview. I think he may just want to go out and put a book out there or a movie or something like that, which is why he didn't want to actually give the interview, because the news station said he wanted to do an interview, but then once he got there, he didn't want to answer any questions. So it's just weird. But moving right along, this guy has some problems. This is Trump derangement syndrome. I've seen things like this happen all the time. Not necessarily somebody shooting themselves and bleeding half to death, but people, you know, the crazy protests, people out there trying to engage in a fight club to protest Trump. You got a lot of the women out there, you know, not taking care of themselves sanitarily. I don't want to get too graphic, but you could pretty much put two and two together and see what I'm getting at there. But I've seen all kind of nasty pictures of that. I've seen a lot of different things, people mutilating themselves just to protest Trump. This is really crazy. I understand you may not like him, you may disagree with his policies, but what is hurting yourself going to do? It's not going to do anything other than get attention. And this is part of the reason why people are walking away, like I was talking about in the earlier video. Who wants to be aligned with a political party that has people like this in it that want to hurt themselves and encourage others to hurt themselves as well, just because they don't like what another man says? Most people are not going to do anything like this, all right? It's not that deep. Okay, you don't like Trump, that's fine, but you're going to hurt yourself? You're going to encourage me to hurt myself? Why do that? You know, but regardless of how I feel about Trump, I love myself more than I hate anybody else. So why would I damage me? And the thing about it, he probably knows about guns a little bit. You're thinking, okay, I got a 22. I'm not going to die from it. But anything can happen. So you putting your own life in jeopardy just because you don't like what somebody else has done. And as you saw in the video, this is an old man. He probably has 1 foot in the grave. Why do anything that's going to damage your health? You know that you can't really bounce back like a young man could. If you're 15 years old and get shot in the arm with a 22, it might not be that bad. But when you're knocking on death's door, you know, looking like you about to crawl in the casket at any moment, I mean, a gunshot wound is not going to be very helpful. I mean, anything, you can get infected. This is a really crazy thing, which is why I say check on your family and friends. Don't allow them to become like this guy who's shooting himself in the bathroom, talking about F Trump, all this, that. And you don't want that to happen. I think everybody, whether left, right, mostly on the left, because we all know that's where a lot of the craziness is coming from. I think everyone that is involved kind of in the extreme ways of thinking, back up a little bit. Appreciate what you have, appreciate life. Don't get caught up in this weird kind of thing that people are getting wrapped up in. So that's pretty much all I gotta say. What say you? Do you think this man is crazy? Something's wrong. How are you a sociology professor for 25 plus years and you do a thing like this in the twilight years of your life? What is going through your mind? Is it part of the Trump derangement syndrome? I mean, we've seen a lot of cases of this particular thing rearing its ugly head. You have psychologists all around the country reporting more therapy patients on their couches talking about Trump. They're losing sleep. They're hooked on social media. They have irritable attitudes. A lot of things are happening relating to Trump. And why do you think this is going on? Is it because of the mainstream media kind of pushing this behavior? You're seeing more people crying than ever before. I've never seen so many grown men and women on television crying about some politics, or fake crying, and people like Angela Rye trying to push tears out her face and nothing is coming. You know, you got this real ugly face, all this and that and the third, but your face totally dry, like you just wiped it with a towel out of the shower. I don't see near dewdrop. I don't see any kind of condensation. I don't see any remnants of where a tear was. I don't see anything of the sort. This is just people manipulating individuals out there that are kind of weak-minded, like this old man. This is his first time being in jail, probably his first time shooting a gun. I suppose he's the kind of guy that went on the internet and researched what kind of gun can I shoot myself with that won't leave a big hole or something. I mean, that is the kind of things we're dealing with right now. But that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Again, check on your family and friends. Make sure you don't have TDS. If they do, please seek help. Please find a cure. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.